Good morning, good morning, good morning, B. How's it going?
Good morning to you.
Good morning. You feeling better? A little bit?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm just huh?
Is that a little
Yeah, I'm
bit
feeling
better?
I'm feeling better.
Good,
A little bit better.
good.
It's just the
Okay.
morning that are a little rough.
Yeah, yeah. All
That's
right.
it.
Are we
That's it.
rocking with Instagram this morning?
Not this morning. None of them to let me out of jail.
Oh, you're back
I
in
guess
jail?
every once I think so.
Okay.
So it's all good. We'll keep it
All right.
pushing.
Yeah, hopefully they'll go over to the YouTube. Maybe we
YouTube.
should, yeah, kind of have them go there anyway. But hopefully by
Right.
now
I
they
think that would be
know
good.
to check. Yeah, to check over there. So good morning, Miss Brenda. Happy Thursday to you. She says happy Thursday to everyone. So, anything from yesterday? Good morning, Mike. You got anything to put on the table
For
this
me,
morning? Yeah.
oh man, my body, man. Just I was tired from training yesterday. We had a
Hmm.
a good morning, seeing Miss Mary and everything, and me on my mother and out to breakfast yesterday. We had a really good time.
Hmm.
Um, Went to training, kind of did a lot of things, got a lot done yesterday. But
Yeah.
today went to training, and I am so sore.
Hmm.
So I'm just pushing it through comfortability, knowing that I'm growing. I'm growing or whatever. Anything that I'm doing that's causing me to be a little bit sore, as long as I rest behind it, grow me in the right direction. So,
Yeah.
but
I
other
thought
than
it was
that,
so
I'm
interesting.
how are you?
I'm good. I thought it was interesting yesterday. So Miss Mary is, oh, we said we were going to give a shout out to, is it Big Breakfast, Brandon? Big Breakfast on,
I
it's a fairly new place. You remember the name of it?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I
so
just
it's at
walked
the
in
corner
wherever the food
of
was.
Kirby Witten and Stage Road. It used to
Mm-hmm.
be a sushi place there, but it's in that where that Kroger parking lot behind the Chick-fil-A there at Kirby
Yep.
and
Yep.
Stage. So there's a new, very not very good breakfast atmosphere, all of that. They do have a bar, full bar as well. Brandon had his first fried salmon. It was literally
Fried salmon
fried like catfish. And so, but
on
Miss
a bed of
Mary
grits.
works there, and she we used to go to breakfast once a week on Wednesdays, and at Perkins, and she was our our person. She waited on us every Wednesday morning. Um, and now she's here at this location. But Brandon, I don't know if you caught this or remember. So we always tip her really, really well again because she took care of us every Wednesday. She knew what we wanted and so forth. Even yesterday, I felt like she kind of knew what we would want. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we tip her well, but I needed to tip her in a different form. And so I was like, man, do you have Cash App? Well, Brandon asked her, I asked Brandon, wonder if she has Cash App. And Brandon said, Miss Mary, do you have Cash App? And she had just got it that morning. I don't know why that's good. That I just love little moments like that because that's how I wanted to tip her because I couldn't combine the two with how I was paying. I wanted to do that from me and not from a business expense. So I just thought she's like I just got it this morning because I needed my something with her daughter. She needed to do something and so that she had just got it so we could bless her. And I'm coming to look for moments like that just to inspire me, to keep me going, to let it be a reminder for me that God's eyes is on us, right? That He's sending little reminders all the time that says, for me, I know you may not understand everything that's going on. I know sometimes it's hard to trust me because sometimes I send you in what seems to be a very shiny, bright, sunny place, and then it rains. right? Um, so I just little things like that is God whispering in my ear and my heart hearing it. So, and I love Miss Mary. She's just so sweet, y'all. She's so sweet. So y'all go up there behind Chick-fil-A, Kirby Witten and Stage Road behind that Chick-fil-A, that
Hmm.
last little building on the left, and ask for Miss Mary and be kind to her. Be kind to her. So over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. And shout out to Miss Mary, such a sweet woman. After meeting her every Wednesday at Perkins, thank you. Um, she
Good
ended up
morning,
slipping in.
Sarah.
She said, "Good morning." She ended up slipping and falling on some ice and injuring her leg. I think her leg, her hip, her knee, something like that.
Her leg.
And hmm,
Her leg.
her leg. And then she actually what she had been working with Perkins for what 25 years.
25 years.
25 years.
25
And
years.
interestingly enough, they didn't want to compensate her uh, for her slip and fall. She ended up having to have surgery. They did do something with the surgery, but you know she's an elderly woman now and have been working there for 25 years and left there without anything, without any benefits or anything like that after 25 years, and said that it was somewhat of a struggle to get them to help with the surgery. But I remember speaking to her at a couple of times after she left Perkins, and she really had no one. She has sons and things like that, and but really no one to sit there to be with her. So I told her I'll help her go to the hospital if she needs or check on her every now and then. So it's interesting that we were a couple of days ago, y'all. We were talking about elderly people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and saying call them, make them smile, things like that. And then even yesterday we talked about elderly people. I think in the trajectory of learning, as far as
Yeah.
like children and how they learn, and elderly people. So I just think it's interesting that we would end up visiting of no intention to make it like the book or anything, but that we went to go see Miss Mary, and that she was doing well, and her
Right.
leg was fine. She had already had one surgery on one leg and was getting ready to do it on the other one. So just all that to say, y'all, check on your elders. Check on your elders. They love you, and I'm speaking to myself first. So um, if you're an elder in my family, I'm probably gonna be
And
checking up
Brandon,
on
I
you
don't know.
here soon.
I don't know if you also realize this, and we'll jump into it. So we had breakfast, which was a good thing. But the thing that brought us to the point where we were able to have breakfast was something that I wasn't okay with. Like if I don't want to say too much about that, but
Oh yeah,
I felt some kind of way about having to do what I had to do yesterday morning, and I got Brandon to help me because I needed the help. I needed the manpower, right? But and that's what I'm going back to say, like God sends you in a place where the sun's gonna shine, but we can't have all sunny days. And Brandon and I had good conversation where I said this, and Miss Brenda, you will really get this, I think. Um, I'm learning not to be careful that I don't judge the assignment. Brandon, help me with this. The
what was it?
assignment based on because it was perfect the way we summed it up. It's like if you feel like God is sending you on an assignment, don't get caught up in the situations and the circumstances that happen in the assignment. I got to get
Yeah,
it exactly
I
like we
think you said
said
you
it.
don't want to give up the assignment for the situation, maybe,
Something like that. Like
or the circumstance.
sometimes, right? Because we will feel like God sends us, and He does. He sends us to place, and that's what I mean by being a servant. And God will allow us to eat our words for sure, test us
Right.
on the words that we say. And so I have to keep my mind on the assignment, on the
Right.
blessing. Don't let the testing interrupt the blessing, and don't be focused on what God is doing for you, but more focus on what He's doing through you. right? So I hope y'all
Right.
get that. Don't focus on, oh, what he's doing for you, right? How he's using you for yourself and many other people. And hold
Right.
on to that. And if you don't pick success up, you won't have to put failure down. If you don't pick failure up, success won't get you puffed up.
Mm.
You'll just know this is an assignment. Because in every assignment, like Brandon said, when I get a blessing, I expect a testing. The young man who came over to meet you, he said the higher the level,
Bigger the devil.
the bigger the devil, you know. And so Brandon was able to connect with a young man there that they're probably gonna connect and do some MMA stuff. But it was just a very productive day. But what brought about those positive situations and occurrences and meetings was a thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Not kinda, it did.
Mm-hmm.
So there's beauty in it all. I'll say that. Let's just jump into it, Brandon, because we'll have to get off. I'm having to hire Brandon again this morning to help me. So I feel thankful, especially it was a short notice. Yesterday was a short notice, and so is today, but he is going to move his schedule around for his mama. So I'm so
Mm-hmm.
thankful, and I'm thankful for my daughter and love to be okay with him doing that from time to time because she needs him too. So
Oh, thank you, Mama. You're a sweetheart. It's no problem at all. But yeah, let's jump right into it, y'all. If you haven't been here at all, or just a little bit, or you come in the middle of the show, that's okay. On this 120th day of the End This Season podcast, we're still going to go through it like it's the first day and explaining why we're here, who we are, why we're here, and what we seek to get out of this. So, my name is Brandon. My mother's name is the Butterfly, Miss Tammy over there, and since February, we have been going through a book called Daily Motivations for African American Success. We originally started going through this book on the In the Season podcast as a recognition and acknowledgement of Black History Month. And then after the success of the show and the obviously the general participation of the show, we decided. My mother actually suggested, and we further decided to keep this thing going, and we are now 120 days in. So from the shortest month of the year, which is 28 days, to almost 100 days after that. So congratulations to you, Mom, and to the people on the show for rocking with us. We're gonna keep it going. So daily motivations for African American success. If you haven't gotten the book, please get the book. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals in 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So that's a little bit about the book. And each day we read a passage from this book, which is usually just one page. And we get that affirmation. First, we get the title, the quote, the passage, give you our insights, tell you what we think about it and how it applies. And then we read the affirmation 3 times. So without further ado, Mom, if you have no additions, we can jump right into it.
let's jump right into it.
All right, sip of coffee. Mm, that coffee's good. I'm about to jump into that.
I want to
Smooth.
hear from Miss. I hear from Mike a lot. Me and Miss Brent, man, y'all, I gotta find some time to do something. But I really want to sit down. We should go to dinner or something, y'all. I should have a barbecue and y'all come over. I want to hear the stories that y'all are not telling
Oh, that's
on
a
there.
really good idea.
I should have a barbecue here,
I
right?
think so. That would be really cool.
Would y'all come, Miss Brenda? Would you come?
Would you come? You sound so, you sound, you sound like that old Southern grandma. Baby,
Would you
would you
come,
come?
baby? Would
Would
you
you? If I
come?
cook, if I put something on the stove for you, baby, won't you come?
You ain't got to bring nothing. Just bring yourself. All right.
You probably
Okay.
gonna
I
leave with
know,
a
right?
plate.
Because y'all, I'm telling you, I feel so blessed this morning. But at the same time, y'all, if I told you all the stuff I felt like was unraveling in my life, and if I really told y'all what I started saying yesterday, y'all be like, girl, ain't nothing about you spiritual. Because I got a word that I've been like, when a situation come up and a person come up,
A
I
word
got
come up.
two, it's really two words. I'll share with y'all at the barbecue.
That
All
would be
right.
cool though, mom. That would
She
be
said,
so
yes,
cool.
she would. We got to make it happen sooner than later, y'all. Sooner than later. Hold me accountable to that because I just want
Yeah,
that energy around. I want all of us in the same place, right? In the same
yeah.
place.
And
Imagine that.
I need to catch up with a couple. I need to catch up with Miss Brenda. I need to catch up with Trent. I need to catch up with my Uncle Mike. It'll be good to see y'all in person. Um, and other people that have been rocking with us, those day ones as we call them. We're on day 120 now, but for all our day ones, I would love to have something for y'all too. That would be great. So, mom, if you set it up, I'm there.
Okay. All right. Saturday or Sunday. Tell me your best days and I'll try to make it work based on the the
Availability.
most. Yeah,
Cool.
available or I'll make it. Sundays is good. Sunday is good for me, but I know, y'all go to church and things like that, but I could also make Saturday evening work. All right. So let's go. Let's get into it because we already 7:17. All right.
Oh, we'll keep it short, y'all. We'll keep it short. So today on this May 30th, the title is. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you already got it up there. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? If we are to survive, if we are. Oh no, can't read it yet. I got to go through the Nikki Giovanni quote. Oh my goodness. So, mom, you know who Nikki Giovanni is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
So the title, guys, is Who's Laughing Now? And our quote comes from Nikki Giovanni, who is a poet and a writer, who said, "Nothing is easy to the unwilling. Nothing is easy to the unwilling." Nikki Giovanni is the poet that had the conversation with Charles Baldwin that Angela Dennis did the shout out to Angela Dennis and from I think she's in the Knoxville Press, Big Sis.
Mhm.
Um, she did the some journalism on Nikki Giovanni from being a poet and a writer from the civil rights movement, and she had the conversation with Charles Baldwin where she said, "Lie to me like you lie to them, people you work for, basically." You remember that? She said, "Well, lie." She said, "Lie
I
to
think we
me."
talked about her. Did we have a quote before from her?
Nope,
Or
nope.
you
But
mentioned that.
I mentioned her, and she
Somebody
she
okay.
she said you get home. She was talking. They were talking about dynamics between the black man and the
Yes.
black woman
Yes.
as far as husband
Yes.
and wife. Nikki Giovanni. So she's in Knoxville, Tennessee, from Knoxville, Tennessee, but an amazing poet and writer. And a young lady that's like a big sister to me. Got to know her and as a journalist and did a whole thing on her, which was incredible. If y'all look up Angela Dennis and Nikki Giovanni, there's a great interview. Also, the Nikki Giovanni and Charles Baldwin interview was amazing. But anyway, Nikki Giovanni
James
said,
Baldwin. She said, Miss Brenda
"I'm
says it's
James Baldwin.
James
I'm sorry.
Baldwin.
What did I say? Charles? Yeah, James
Hmm.
Baldwin. I think I said Charles Baldwin. I know a Charles. I think I know a Charles Baldwin. So James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni. And Nikki Giovanni said, "Nothing is easy to the unwilling. Nothing is easy to the unwilling." In the passage, if we are to survive and live triumphantly, then we had better learn to live with the naysayers, those who would doubt our abilities and make light of our efforts. A boy watched an artist paint a picture of a muddy river. He laughed at the artist because he had painted so much mud. The artist told him, You see mud in the picture, but I see beautiful colors and contrasts, beautiful harmonies. His painting eventually sold for thousands of dollars. Cynics and doubters will always be among us. When you dare to step out of the crowd, people will always laugh. But if you know you're right and believe in your abilities, then the smirks of others will turn into smiles of approval. When Richard Allen proclaimed that he would develop a church where African Americans could worship without hindrance, his fellow clergy laughed. When Dr. Lewis T. Wright, a Harvard trained physician from southern Georgia, invented the neck brace, the medical community laughed. When James Van Der Zee sold his possessions to travel the country, photographing the exploits of African Americans, people laughed. In 1973, when Layla Foley announced to family and friends that she was going to run for public office in tiny Taft, Oklahoma, and become the first black female mayor in the country, her opponent laughed. Monroe Trotter demanded, quote, full equal rights for the Negro. America laughed. When Doris Spears sought to become the first black female deputy sheriff in the United States, her fellow officers laughed. And when Emmett Ashford spent his entire life in musty country towns because he dared to become Major League Baseball's first African American umpire, organized sports laughed. So don't allow the laughter of critics and naysayers to deter you. And the affirmation for today that we read 3 times, one time for me, one time for you, and one time for the person that you're going to invite to the cookout. Not the cookout at my mama's house. Cookout at my mama's house. But this cookout is today I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I know what I have to do. Today, I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I know what I have to do. And last time, today, I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I know what I have to do. Over to you, Mom. What you think about that one?
Ooh. I want to ask the question. Are y'all going to make somebody laugh? Are you making somebody laugh? I love that. Like, who's laughing now? Maybe they are laughing now, but who will you make laugh in the future? I love nothing is easy to the unwilling. Um, define. I put it out there: unwilling, not ready, eager, or prepared to do something. When you're not ready,
Mm-hmm.
eager, and prepared, you see everything as difficult. Everything is a difficult process to you. People are difficult to you, right? But when you believe, it says, when you, let's see, da, 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 da. When you dare to step out of the crowd, people will always laugh. But if you know you're right and believe in your abilities, because if you have faith in your abilities and you're not part of the unwilling, when you are eager, ready, and prepared. Didn't we talk about yesterday? Was it yesterday? When
Proper
proper,
preparation meets opportunity, right?
right?
Okay.
Are you prepared? Are you prepared to make people laugh? Because that means you do have the crazy faith. You do have a goal. You do have a plan. You know how to aim because you got that thing all written out. Oh, I'm talking to myself this morning, right? And so, who's laughing now? And will they laugh more because you're on the road? All things are coming your way because you are going the right way, right? And
Yeah.
so, the unwilling, again, people who are not ready, eager, nor prepared to do something. I want to say, stop wasting your time on unwilling people. You let them know when you are eager, prepared, and ready to see my mud painting, but see more than the mud. like to see me, but see more than just the things you think I cannot do, all that you think I should be doing, and all of this while you are reading my book, write yours. Stop dealing with people like that.
Mm.
And that's why I say I would love to be in the energy of Miss Brenda and Mike and the people who've been coming here, right?
Yo, let's do it, yo. Let's do it.
I would love that energy because like yesterday with Brandon, man, it felt so awesome. It brought about great conversation to the point where I was reminded how, we haven't been going like we used to go every week. Might
With
miss
Miss
one
Mary.
here and there,
Miss
right?
Mary said
To
that. Yeah.
practice. And even before that, you remember we used to, most of the time we'd do lunch
Mm-hmm.
together, just
You
here
know
and
what Miss
there,
Mary
everywhere.
said? She said you guys are the anomaly. She said
Yeah.
most sons don't hang out with their mothers like that or see their mothers every week or you know, um,
Yeah.
are
She said
close.
her own sons. She said I have sons, but they're just not there, you know. Um, so it's and that's sad that even we allowed busyness to stop what really mattered with
Mm-hmm.
us getting together. And I sent Brandon a message yesterday. I said we need to make sure we do something together at least once a week. And people might say, well, y'all here on the podcast every morning. It's not the same. It's great, but just sitting there next to him
Mm.
or someone, that you feel connected to in a different way, like-minded, and it be my son, that's awesome, right? So believe in your abilities. Don't be the unwilling, and don't spend and waste your time with once you realize, hey, they just not ready. And if they're not ready, they're not going to prepare for anything, and they're not going to be eager about anything. So, and I'll jump down to today. I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I know what I have to do. Have y'all ever heard that word? I looked it up, and it's interesting. The meaning of doubting Thomas is um, a habitually doubtful person,
Mm.
right? Can you think of someone that's just doubts everything? You tell them the sun can be out, and they're thinking about it's going to be dark after a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Like,
they
oh, well, the weather can act up any moment.
any moment now,
Any moment.
right? So going back to the affirmation, today I will stand and turn a deaf ear. Just say to doubting people. To my matter of fact, name the person. Name the person who is the thorn in your side. You could be upbeat, joyful, all that and some more, and they'll kill it. They'll kill it. So, who is your doubting Thomas? I know what I have to do. Do you? Do you know what you have to do, and do you have the ability to do it? Can you make people laugh? Right? Can you where is it here? I love this one. I'm gonna say it now. I've already said it. When you dare to step out of the crowd, will you step out of the crowd? Will you go the way that the crowd's not going? Because I promise you, that the crowd here is not the crowd out there. You have to
Yeah.
find your tribe and
Right.
vibe with your tribe. But you got to know who you are, whose you are. You got to have crazy faith and the ability, and be willing, be eager, be prepared, know how to aim and shoot your shot. Right? Over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. And appreciate you sharing, some stuff about yesterday. I felt the same way. I felt great, especially with the conversations that we were having. We were having very, spiritual conversations, and just relaying and existing in each other's presence and enjoying it, right?
Mhm.
And you remember one thing I said was, Mom, I'm always happy. You said anything I can do for, because we were talking about some stuff, some personal stuff. And I said, just don't ever let anything take your joy. As long as you don't let anything take your joy, I'm happy. And I'm talking about you, Mom. I'm like,
I know.
no matter what happens, she's asking about me, and I'm saying, well,
And here I am wanting, that's my answer. Because y'all, as mothers, if you're a mom, I'm telling y'all, it's, you can't describe the feeling. And then let's not even talk about the grandbabies. Oh my Lord. So it's double, right? But he's wanting the same for me as I am him. Like I'm looking at him like, that's the same for me. Just don't let anything or anybody take your joy.
yeah,
No mother and no son, no mother wants to think that, matter of fact, we had a great conversation and I said, thank you for sharing some things because now I know what to pray for. I know how to sit before God and be exact and know exactly what I'm asking him for as it relates to Brandon. Because if sometimes as a mother, you don't get to hear, um, what the struggles of your children, what there's the things that they feel they're struggling with or going through, right? And so I just felt honored that number one, we're at breakfast, we're spending some time together. He's stood up to the request of my needing assistance, like at the spur of a moment. And that led us to breakfast, that led us to conversation to see Miss Mary, and that it cleared some things because every mother knows whether the child, I feel every mother, right, knows if her child or children, not saying that it's just you just know when something's a little off. You just know, right? And so if you now know what it is, you now know to be like, God, I'm gonna be specific with this. And I was specific with it last night. I'm specific because of the communication, because of the time we spent together, right? So I just loved it. Gemstones, hey Gemstones, Valdosta, Georgia.
hey,
She says, I love your connection with your son. This is awesome. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
oh,
And
thank
I
you.
know you know what I mean because you're a mom too. So thank you. Thank you so much. Um, so Brandon, that's all I have. I know I've kind of talked long here, and you have to help me. So I don't know
Yeah,
if you
it's
have
all good. No, I just wanted to speak about, in short, it's really about joy. Like, your joy in your life and situations and the things that you do, carrying your joy with you is magnetic, right?
mm,
And there's some people that will be repelled to the point of offended at your joy.
mm, good point.
You know what I mean? And so, to summarize everything up together, is joy is such a protection for you, but it's what people will envy of you, right? Some will envy your joy. Because ultimately, guys, success is joy, is a ceaseless joy. Think about where we seek to get to in the hereafter, right? It's a place where there are no tears. It's a place where there is no suffering, right? There's no attachments, but just the wonder at the creation of God, and enjoying that paradise, right? So be it in heaven as it is on earth, right? So how can we get to such a state, and can we pursue a state in this life, right? I was telling my mother yesterday, that when the angels come to take your soul, and if you're attached, if you're attached to this world, if your desires are your Lord, right? Then it will be like the angels come for you. It'll be like ripping hair a out of a steel wool pad, basically, out of interlocking steel. So it's like ripping wool out of that, like a steel Brillo pad almost. And if and so that seems painful. It's ripping because your soul is so attached to this world. But if you're a believer, if you're free of the attachments and the subsequent sufferings of this world, right? Like the truly the our suffering comes from attachments, right?
Mm.
We're being attached to this person or attached to this situation or attached to this job
Or
and the
yourself.
or
Or yourself.
yourself, and the dissonance that's created when the world or God puts you in a position that challenges your attachment, that shows you that you really don't need this, and you're pressed to move to a new direction and a new place, um, and you don't do it because of your comfortability, right? Because this is what you're used to. Then that's a very uncomfortable thing. It's like ripping the wool off of that still. There's another word that I'm trying to remember from the actual knowledge and things that I read, but it's like pulling hair from that steel or wool
Mm.
from that steel Brillo. And if you are a believer and not attached to this world, at peace and ready to meet your Lord, ready for the hereafter, and you know that the here and now is temporary, then it'll be like lifting a feather. It'll be like um, pouring water out of a vase, right? Out of a watering canister, basically. Very smooth, very fluid, very light,
Mm.
right? And you'll be ready to go. You won't be trying to hold on to your body. Your soul won't be trying to hold on to your body to where there's pain associated with separating the two of you because you're not attached. You know that this is your body, it is not you, right? That there's more to the human being. It's not just the human, the humans, the human being. The main part is the being,
Mm.
not the human. So are you being? Are you being with joy? What's your state of being? And how much does that have to do with your day? So yesterday was a beautiful day because we were in a beautiful state of being. The way that we filtered information was in a beautiful state. It was a beautiful filter. So no matter what came at us, we would filter out the bad and see the silver lining in the good. We would take the benefits and ask for God to protect us from from its harm, right?
Mm.
And so we should do that every day. Lord, whatever situation I'm in, please, I seek refuge with you, Lord, from the uh, from the detriment from this,
Mm.
or from the evil from this. And I seek your mercy, and I seek to receive more of the benefits from it. I seek to only receive the benefits from this, right? But acknowledge and see the challenges and see the um, the detriments that could come from it, and seek refuge in God with them, and let those burdens not just be yours, but they be His. You see what I'm saying? What's that song? The battle is not yours, it's the Lord. But it's, will you give that battle up, or do
I
you
was
want to
thinking of the
win the
song, "I'll
war?
Give Myself Away." I was thinking about the
Mhm.
song, "So You Can Use Me." And that's what I
Yeah.
meant by being attached to yourself. And Brad, I got to say this because as you're talking, I'm thinking about Grandma B,
Mm-hmm.
who sang her way out of here. They say she was singing, you know, and that's a
Mm-hmm.
woman that I felt never really was attached to anything and
And she was
anybody.
smiling when she passed.
Yeah, she's singing. I remember asking her by video, Mama, do you know who I am? And she's like, Girl, of course I know who you are. Like, that's a stupid question, you know? And she was singing. Do y'all feel the peace of that?
Yeah.
To be so ready. And I remember telling one of my cousins, if anybody deserves to meet their maker, it's her. Let her go.
She would get up in her elder age like that, in the last week of her life. She would try to get up. Like she
So,
had COVID. She would try to get up, and she would just kind of sprint across the room a little bit, as much as an elderly woman in the 90s could sprint across the room. And they'd be like, Mama, what are you doing? Right.
so good.
And yeah, and she said that she was trying to catch the angel. The angels were coming to visit her, and she thought that she was ready to go with them.
Yeah.
So she was chasing the angels. Imagine a little woman chasing
Yeah.
angels,
Yeah.
right?
And
And
I
so
remember
it's just incredible.
seeing her, particularly one time for sure, when my uncle Sydney,
Yes.
passed away. He was killed by the train, and I saw my grandmother sitting on that front row, praying, not crying, praying. And I was very little, and I just thought, as best I tried to understand that. But she is an example of not being attached and realizing that they don't belong to me. These are your children. These are your children. Have your way with them. Crazy faith. Crazy faith. So,
And what did the
y'all,
naysayers say, Mama?
huh?
Naysayers would say, you supposed to what, you lost your son.
Yeah,
How sad. Like, they expect her to be in a depressed state. But you know what? She may have had challenges with it, and I'm sure she did.
yeah,
Right? But she knew that the battle wasn't hers. She
right.
knew that Sydney wasn't hers. She
Yeah,
wasn't possessive of him. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Possessive. What are we possessive of? And is it really ours? Is it really ours, y'all?
It's not because you ain't yours.
Because
I
you
remember
ain't
you told
yours.
me, Brandon, if you know, don't go to the bathroom, don't blink your eye. If you belong to you and if you are in control of you, life would be different.
Imagine having
Right?
to think for your heart to beat every time.
Right.
If we had to
Exactly.
stop. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. I gotta pump some blood. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You
Make
know?
sure my
Oh.
heart's working. You are here not on your own doing. You woke up this morning not on your own doing. You're blessed. And trust me, the people who are, and we got to get out of here, Brandon, the people who choose to laugh at you are really laughing because they're crying inside and they wish they could bring the light that they see in you. But guess what? It's in them, just like
Yeah.
it's in us. It's in them,
So
you
don't
know?
let it spoil your joy.
Right. Don't let it spoil your joy. Don't let it tamper or stop your abilities. Don't let it tamper with your faith. Keep going. Keep
And take
going.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Take what, Brandon?
I was gonna say, and
No, you said, and you said,
take it as a sign of your upliftment, of your upward mobility toward whatever success looks like. Because it gets hotter the closer you get to the sun. It's the higher the level, the bigger the devil, the more challenges. So when you see those obstacles and challenges, or you see, you know, the challenges start to become more of a spiritual or a social challenge, then know that
mm,
there's a reason for it, and know that better people than us were spoken worse about, right? That who every Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon them both, Dr. King, all of these individuals, Nelson Mandela was looked at as a terrorist. Nelson Mandela in America considered Nelson Mandela a terrorist. He served 20 something years in prison, right? Only to get out for not supporting and being against apartheid South Africa. He was on a terrorist list, y'all.
we lost Brandon. I bet he hit himself out.
Oh, sorry.
You made a
Um,
mistake and hit the button, didn't you?
no, it did on
Oh,
its own. My hand's been like
oh,
this.
okay, okay,
So,
okay.
so he spent all those years in prison only to get out and become the president of South Africa and to end apartheid, where they separated the whites from the blacks, the Afrikaners. So, all that to say, guys, you are in good company.
Yes, you're right.
I told my coach last night, because he had this situation. There was somebody, a respected, person, that was very jealous of him, and it was so obvious that there's another coach. I ain't gonna call his name out, but he's so jealous of my coach for no reason. And they they've shared stuff together, across states and things like that. And fighters from one place would come to another to, get some cross training. And the man he's lost it. And coming at my coach for posting a picture of his professional fighters, right? It's interesting, and saying negative things. And you know what I told my coach as I left? I said, Coach, you in good company. It costs to be the boss. It costs to be the best. You are the best. You are the best coach. So don't be surprised when they come for your head. Heavy is the crown, and it's lonely at the top. Like, brother, you have people that you have made successful. You have helped usher them into new stratospheres of their athletic career. If you don't get challenged yourself, what does that mean? So this is your fight. You're the best. You're in good company. Worse things have been said about better men, and you're a great man. So sometimes we have to be that encouragement for each other, and I hope that we've been that for you guys today on this 120th episode of the End the Season podcast. So, Mom, I know we got to end it. Unless you have anything else to say, I was going to go ahead and wrap it up. Anything from you?
Yeah. I just want to say you are Richard Allen. You are Dr. Lois T. Wright. You are Van Dersey. You are Layla Folly. And you are William Monroe Trotter. So if you don't know who they are, maybe you missed the passage that we read today, go back and listen to it. But I'm saying that to say you can do greater things than they did, right? You can do
Absolutely.
what you can do it. And it's in you. You have the ability. Just be willing and have the faith. That's it, Brandon.
Yeah, nothing is easy to the unwilling. If you ain't willing, everything going to be hard. But be
Yeah.
willing. Be
Yeah.
willing. Like, what? Oh, that's a challenge? Yeah, pick me.
Like
You know?
Mary said, Mary, Jesus' mom. Hey, this I'm a servant of you, God. If this is what you want for my life, let's go. Let's do it. And God took care of her. God took care of her while she went through what people judged her through.
Mm,
Right? Y'all hear
mm-hmm.
that? Y'all hear that? So come on now. Come on.
Yep. All right, y'all. Well, this has been a great show. Appreciate y'all for being there with us on this 120th rendition of the End of Season podcast. Thank y'all so much. We're here every single morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If y'all could do me a favor, if you're watching on Facebook Live or any other platform besides YouTube, please go over to YouTube and type in the letter N, This Season podcast, and look at our videos, like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so that there's the link right there so that you can be notified when we post content. Sometimes we will surprise y'all and post something that's not at 7 a.m. So please be there for that and share the page, the YouTube channel, to as many people as you can. Let's see what others have to say about this. And we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. But again, thank y'all so much. We'll end this the same way we always do, with a reading of the title. The title was Who's Laughing Now? Who's laughing now? They might be laughing at you in school, because you're nerding out over there. But when you become the CEO of a company, you laughing because they're asking you for a job. I got a million other situations that are equal like that, where people have laughed at people. And now look at them.
Think about the people y'all laughed at in high school and middle school and what they
Man,
doing now.
who's laughing now? Before we
Now
get on
what?
another, we're
Yeah.
gonna hit something else, mama. So who's laughing now, right?
Who's laughing now, right?
And our quote came from Nikki Giovanni, right here in good old Tennessee, poet and writer, who said, "Nothing is easy to the unwilling." And our affirmation that we read 3 times, for who, you, me, and the person you gonna send this to, is today I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I know
I
what I
know
have to
what
do.
I have to do.
Today I will stand and turn a deaf ear to the doubting Thomases. I
I know
know what I
what
have to
I
do.
have to do.
And last time, you can say it out loud. It's at the bottom of your screen. Today
Today,
I
I
will
will
stand and
stand
turn a
and turn
deaf
a deaf
ear to the
ear
doubting
to the doubting
Thomases.
Thomases.
I know
I
what
know
I
what I
have
have
to do.
to do.
That's all we got, y'all. Y'all go
So
out there. Make sure you laugh today. It's about that joy. So who's laughing now? Are you going?
hey,
If you
and
go ahead
turn
and
that
start,
ear. Tell them to turn that
Turn their
ear.
ear. Who is laughing now? You got to have joy to laugh, y'all. So go out there, keep your joy. Don't let nobody, no matter what they say, take your joy. They can have their opinions, and they're entitled to their own opinions, but not their own facts. And the fact is, you are amazing, you are worthy, and you have the potential to do amazing, great, and greater things than you've even ever heard of. So that's something to be joyful about, right? Half of success is going to be the joy that you have getting there, the journey, the joy that you have on the journey to get there, despite whatever comes your way, despite the challenges, the burdens, the hindrances, and the obstacles. You still, you can laugh your whole way through. What they say, laughing all the way to the bank. And where's the bank? It might not be a money bank. It might be the heaven bank. It might be the heart bank. It might be the mind bank. But
Peace,
laugh all the way
joy.
to the bank and
Yes.
cash that check, baby, because God wrote it. All right, y'all. Y'all take
All
it
right.
easy. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. on In the Season Podcast. Peace.